When people think about San Francisco, we're reminded of the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, trolley cars, Full House, and for sure not the Golden State Warriors, because let's go Toronto Raptors. But by the time this video goes up, Golden State Warriors probably beat the Toronto Raptors. But there's a lot of injuries on the team, and I'm really hopeful, so let's go Kawhi. His back must be so sore just carrying the team. But getting back into this, because I'm just so into basketball, I don't want to get distracted here. But what if I told you guys that this golden city and also ghost story is rooted in its culture? Well, how's it going, YouTube? I'm your host for this one, Landon Dallasing, and welcome back to another most amazing top 10 video. Before we get started, I want to know, what is your favorite city in the whole world? Let me know in the comment section below. Mine has to be maybe Sydney, Australia. Amazing place. Alright, let's dive right into our list. This is the top 10 scary San Francisco urban legends. The Pioneer Mother statue starts this list off in at number 10. This creepy statue is located at the entrance of Stowe Lake. It was built in 1914 to honor the pioneer women of the Old West, and it was placed in Golden Gate Park in the 40s. But this isn't a regular statue. There are a ton of rumors about the statue being able to move on its own, something that it shouldn't be able to do. Witnesses have said that they can see the woman's head move from side to side as if she was looking for something. Maybe she's looking for her missing child. It is also said that she will change her facial expressions, and sometimes she'll distort her face to look like a hideous monster. Sounds like I'll be staying away from this statue. There are also a lot of stories about seeing a phantom shape of a third child statue, but when you go closer to it, it just disappears. Oh, and you can also hear the sounds of evil children laughing if you get too close, so be warned. The tunnels of Chinatown brings us to number 9. Apparently there are a ton of secret tunnels buried deep under Chinatown, and residents of Chinatown use them to get to their hidden opium dens and gambling rooms without being caught. There's been a ton of speculation that these tunnels were once a really shady tourist attraction, while others still say that it's used for illegal activity. But due to an earthquake, it is now believed that these tunnels are now blocked off by fallen debris. But who knows, maybe someone found a way in, so we never know what might be lurking inside of these tunnels. Mary Ellen Pleasant haunts us in at number 8. She was a former slave who came to San Francisco in 1899. Eventually she was able to open up her own restaurant, where she would pick up stock tips from wealthy businessmen who ate there. She was so clever that she was able to use these stock tips to make herself rich. She built a very nice mansion on Octavia Street, where she lived with her business partner and his wife. But here's where things got ugly. She was accused of pushing her business partner down the stairs and killing him. She was pressured to move out of the city, and she quickly lost all of her savings and died a few years later. I mean, talk about bad karma. So now it is said that her spirit haunts the Memorial Park on Octavia and Bush Street. And if you stand on the plaque and politely make a wish, it will be granted. But beware, Mary Ellen Pleasant will throw rocks at your head if you don't show her the proper respect. So make sure when you're making a wish, give some respect. The Pinecrest Diner brings us to number 7. This restaurant sits on the corner of Mason and Gary, and there's a sign that reads, "Best Breakfast in San Francisco." Okay, I couldn't vouch for the food there because I've never been. I've been to San Francisco many times, but if you like your eggs poached, then you should probably never eat there. And that's because this restaurant refuses to make it because of an urban legend that has been circulating around. Apparently a murder took place at this diner in 1997. The cook shot and killed the waitress, and rumors has it that earlier that day, the waitress yelled at the cook for making poached eggs when they aren't even on the menu. According to the legend, the chef was so angry that when he came into work the next morning, he came in with a gun. The cook never admitted that the eggs were the cause of his murdering rampage, but the restaurant refuses to serve them to this day. Up next, number 6, we have the Golden Gate Park ghost. It is said that if you drive your car through the Golden Gate Park at night, and if you do it with your headlights off, a police officer will pull you over and give you a ticket. However, when you go to pay for the ticket, it will be invalid because the police officer doesn't actually exist. According to the legend, this cop lost his life in the line of duty in this park, but his spirit is still on duty. He roams around the park and approaches people who have committed traffic violations. So even though this is probably just an urban legend, a lot of people in this area said that they've run into him. So it's got to be real, right? So the next time you find yourself driving in Golden Gate Park at night, you might want to obey by the traffic laws just in case. Or you might be pulled over by this phantom police officer. Golden Gate Bridge moves on to this list at number 5. Since 1937, more than 1,500 suicides have occurred on the Golden Gate Bridge. Police have tried to prevent suicides from happening on this bridge, and they did this by closing pedestrian access after 6:30, and they've even assigned officers to patrol the walkway. But the tormented souls of the dead jumpers continue to haunt this bridge even to this day. It is said that on dark, foggy nights, the spirit can be seen roaming along the walkways while he's searching for their next victim. Witnesses have reported hearing screams and feeling pulled towards the edge of the bridge. Alcatraz Prison brings us to number 4. I've been there and it's very airy. Like, you hear a lot of noises. It's for sure haunted. Well, given the amount of prisoners who spent many years on this lonely, cruel island, there are a ton of angry spirits that are haunting this old prison, and I might be able to attest by that. There are reports of shadowy figures, weird mist, cold spots, and there are a lot of noises in the prison as well. If you visit the prison, you'll hear moaning, sobbing, and screams for help. They can even move objects, and if you're unlucky, you might even feel one of them brush past you. It is also said that you will feel cold chills and feel like something bad is going to happen. And if you value your life, you should never visit 14D. I've done it and it is terrifying. And that's because an angry spirit is trapped inside of the cell, and if he gets a hold of you, you'll probably never make it out alive. I was able to meet one of the officers who were actually active during the Alcatraz days. Sutro Forest suicides takes us to number 3. Well, it looks like San Francisco has their own version of suicide forest, just like Japan. Even though this forest looks like a beautiful spot to have a picnic, it has a very dark history. Between the years of 1899 and 1908, several bodies were found dead in this forest. This forest is so big and dense that it became an ideal location for people to commit suicide without being seen. Because the forest is so thick, it is believed that there are hundreds of bodies that still have to be found. And according to the local legend, the ghosts of these bodies still linger in the forest, and you can hear bones breaking and whispers if you walk in the forest at nighttime. The Sutro Bath Ruins brings us to number 2. On the west side of San Francisco, on the south side of San Francisco, there are stone ruins that have crumbling stairs and old buildings that are said to be incredibly haunted. The Sutro Baths are said to be cursed, and this belief is still perpetrated today. Those brave enough to enter the cave have reported seeing a strange creature hiding in the cave. There are scratch marks on the walls, piles of animal carcasses, and bones left behind. You can even hear unexplained noises and footsteps echoing throughout the tunnel. And apparently this creature doesn't look like it's from Earth. If that wasn't enough, another urban legend says that this cave was the place where people would perform dark satanic rituals that involved human sacrifices. I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking that we should close off this tunnel and never speak of it ever again. The Lady of the Stowe Lake tops this list at number 1. This lake can be found in Golden Gate Park, and this urban legend is about a mother who took her baby to the park in a stroller in the early 1900s. Well, she stopped at a park bench to rest, and she began chatting to another woman. But she didn't realize that the stroller started to roll away and it crashed into the lake. Once she realized that her baby was gone, she began to panic as she frantically searched for her baby. The mother was last seen going into the lake, so those people who were brave enough to visit the park at night might run into this devastated mother who is still searching for her baby today. It is said that she now haunts this lake and she will terrorize people into helping her search for her baby. But be careful, she might even try to pull you into the water herself to try to help search underneath the water for her baby. Well, there you guys have it. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for you guys who tuned in for the whole video. I will see you guys all in the next most amazing top 10 video.